Hi, my name is Chaim, and this video is called Pantheism versus Pan-entheism. In order to understand the difference between pantheism and panentheism, we first have to define them. Pantheism is a form of atheism. Atheism, basically, is without a personal God. So basically, in this aspect, one who is without a personal God, or one without a God, basically says, look, there's no way you can observe or prove through observation, through science, that there's a God. So therefore, in order to find the truth, we're going to start from scratch. We're not going to have a personal God. We're just going to start from scratch and do this in the most scientific way possible. And then you have theism. And the idea of theism is the exact opposite of the spectrum. It's with a personal God. Basically, the belief is, well, there's a building, there's a builder. Alright, so panentheism is an aspect of theism, whereas pantheism is the aspect of atheism. Pantheism, panentheism. So let's go and define this. The projected idea, the philosophy of pantheism is that, well, just let's look at it from being a part of the picture. We as humans, or anything, is made up of a numerous amount of cells. And those cells make up what? A whole. One whole body. And that one whole body is contained within an environment. So you see this room here. Me as a person is contained within this environment. This environment is contained within another building. This building is contained within the outside world. This outside world is contained within an atmosphere, which is also now contained in a solar system. This solar system, with all the parts, make up a whole solar system, which on a macrocosmic level resemble the same form as an atom. And this solar system and all the other solar systems are, which we call these parts. So all these solar systems make up a galaxy. And all those galaxies make up, yada yada yada, the universe. So what pantheism says, well, factually speaking, what we can observe as the highest source is the universe. And so basically, all the parts of the universe make up the whole one universe, what we can observe at least. So pantheism says, well then, if this is the highest source of everything that we can observe, then factually speaking, well then that means that the universe is the supreme God, And everything that makes up the universe is gods that make up the supreme God called the universe. Now let's look at the idea of panentheism. Panentheism says, okay, so let's look at this being outside of the picture, where pantheism is looking at the whole thing from being a part of the picture, a part of the universe. Panentheism says, okay, let's step outside of the picture and look at the whole thing. What is the universe? What we do know is that the universe is a form. It's a physical form. It's a corporeal matter. You had light, which then condensed into a more dense of a form. So, for example, this piece of paper, it's just a piece of paper. It has something written on it. So it's actually a note for me to break down all the trailers for the movies. You have a piece of paper, just plain paper. I can crumble this up. It's still a form. It's a random thing that I did, but this is still considered a form. It doesn't have to. You don't have to know the reason why. You don't have to. It's not the reason of why I crumbled it up. It doesn't matter. All we know is that whatever you do with it, even if I burnt it up and it turned to ashes, it's still a form. It's still a form. So the very idea is that if something is a form, if something is a structure, it cannot build itself. Therefore, something that is not a form, something that's infinite, something that is not limited by form itself, would have had to create form, create something corporeal, something that is not limited by the confines of form itself. Hence, you have the idea of panentheism. So in this case, we now have distinguished the difference between pantheism and panentheism. Pantheism says that the highest form, the highest level of things is the universe, whereas panentheism says in the physical form that's true, but something with a form cannot just pop out of thin air. Something that's not limited by form itself, something that's not a form, that's incorporeal, that's infinite, would have had to have created something as limited as a form. That's the difference. This has been Chaim Zeitz. Peace.